Part 63. The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 624. Tao Ran couldn't help but be moved by Old Man Mi's bold move. This kind of binding method is much better than the method of creating a relationship with Mi Hongyu. Yes, of course. Even if the Mi family doesn't give her anything, she still has to help the old man treat his illness and earn favors, right? Tao Ran quickly understood why Old Man Mi was so anxious to bind her. Because as soon as she finished a cup of tea, the middleman who wanted to introduce her to the military academy arrived. Here comes another old man. Mi Hongyu introduced to Tao Ran, "This is Grandpa Wei." While the two old men were talking, Mi Hongyu entered a name for Tao Ran Guangneo and asked her to check it herself. This old man's name is Wei Sen, his mental power is S+, he is an honorary marshal of the alliance, his name is followed by a lot of honors, and he was the commander-in-chief of many major battles. He retired after being injured during a war on terrorism 15 years ago. All in all, he is a well-known figure. "Come on, let's play chess." Old man Wei thought he was being asked to play chess. "I won't play chess today, so I came to you, for a competition." Old man Mi smiled. "Comparing with you? Apart from playing chess, old me to you, what else can you do to compete with me? It's you competing with this little girl." "Little girl? Comparing to what?" "Compared with mental strength." "With me? Comparing mental strength?" Old man Wei looked at Tao and then shook his head in rejection. "I don't want to compete. I'm afraid that you will say that I bully the younger ones, and I'm even more afraid of spoiling the little girl." Old man Mi crossed his legs. "Old Wei, if you don't win, you have to guarantee your admission to the first military academy. If you win, can you choose one of my private collections?" Sure enough, as soon as these words came out, Old man Wei jumped up. "You can't go back on your word. I can choose whatever you want for yourself. If you win, you can. Come on, let's compete." Tao Ran pulled Mi Hongyu, "Excuse me, do you want to ask me what I mean about this bet?" The main reason was that she didn't feel confident that she could beat Old man Wei. "This matter is not my business." Mi Hongyu spread his hands. "Did you just agree to be employed by my old man? Now that he is your boss and you are his subordinate, he can naturally arrange for you. Why does it feel like I'm on a pirate ship? Heh, let me tell you, my old man is just an old fox. That's why I won't be fooled by him, and I insist on not getting involved in his company. You walked in on your own, so take care of yourself. So you see, you might as well be employed by me, right?" "Ha!" Tao Ran rolled his eyes at him. "He is an old fox, and you are no better. Not a word of truth. Both each other. We are both practicing foxes, so we can get along with each other, right?" Tao Ran hissed. "This is really unpleasant to hear." Old man Mi came over and patted Tao Ran on the shoulder. "Don't worry, just play. No matter you win or lose, I will let you get what you want. But if you can defeat that old man, you can take a shortcut if you want to realize the value of your life. So, it's all on you." The old man glanced at his grandson, while Mi Hongyu looked away. At this point, Tao Ran still couldn't understand, why bother? With the relationship between the two old men, and with her mental and physical strength, it is more than enough to enter the military school, and it is more convenient to use a machine to test. Why use this method? Tao Ran and Wei Sen were taken to the magia training room. Wisen motioned to the lady to choose what to compare and how to compare. Tao Ran is not polite. She was not familiar with other things, so after thinking about it, she chose the simple and direct way of competing with Mu Guang in terms of mental strength for the first time that day on the Kotstar network, where she competed to grab the grid within the specified time. Wisen said yes. Old man Mi asked Tao Ran, "What level is the basic pressure of the grid? Is a level okay?" Taoran nodded. Old Man Mi smiled brightly, while Old Man Wei raised his eyebrows and glanced at Taoran again. He waved his hand. Don't call me a bully, old man. If the time is 1 minute, I'll give you 3 seconds. You go first, and I'll start again in 3 seconds. Thank you very much, old man. If you have an advantage, don't take advantage of it. The competition begins. Taoran's recent mental stress test in her training room has been able to achieve an S and level. Now that she knows that Old Wei is also an S+, she naturally does not dare to underestimate the enemy. If she wanted to win, she might have to seize the 3 seconds that the old man gave her for free. So, as soon as the timer started, Taoran let go of all his mental energy, rushed out with all his strength, and pushed up with the fastest speed and concentration. Every grid has pressure. The first 3 rows are very relaxed and light up in 1 second. The pressure in the 4th row exceeds A+, and she still lights up in 1 second. She successfully captured 51 of the 100 grids at the end of the 3rd second. Then, she defended the 51st square with all her strength. The 2 Mi family members and Old Man Wei who were watching the battle were shocked by her speed. Especially Old Man Wei, he thought that even if the girl had S-level mental power, it would take at least 6 to 8 seconds to reach that position. Old Wei did not rush or slow down, and smoothly won 49 frames. Then, he launched a fierce attack on the 51 cells occupied by Taoran. The majestic mental power rushed towards him, and it was the first time since Taoran came to this world that he felt such mental suppression. The defensive wall she had built up with waves of mental power was disintegrating. She tried her best. All her mental power is here. She could clearly feel that her mental strength was worse than that of the old man. The old man is S+, so her mental power is actually not S, and yet? Then how can I help Tang Zhu take revenge on SS Nai Rong Hai? So unwilling. The scalp and head under the helmet were throbbing with pain, but Taoran still didn't want to lose. She worked hard to mobilize her mental strength, and kept building and building her defense. She just didn't want to give up this space. She could only grit her teeth and endure. Time passed by second by second. 1 minute to go. The data is out. Taoran did not lose. But the 51st frame was still judged by the machine, and it was assigned to Old Man Wei. 50 squares per person. Tie. She was very disappointed. But she tried her best. She fell directly on her back in the chair, and Mi Hongyu even took off the helmet for her. Her hair was all wet, her face and lips were pale, and her whole body felt empty. Old Man Mi came over and patted her on the shoulder, gave her a thumbs up and praised her, "Great job. Pretty. Where is the beauty?" And she didn't even have the strength to reply. Looking at Old Man Wei opposite him, Old Man Mi dragged him away just as he was about to speak. She was even more disappointed. The old man seems to have plenty of energy left. Much stronger than her. Moreover, Old Man Wei gave her 3 seconds. If she draws, she actually loses. This is a 1-minute competition. If it lasts for 90 seconds, I will definitely be defeated. I'm afraid I will lose miserably. From this point of view, my mental strength is probably as high as that of an S-level person. I was still blindly confident before. Taoran was very depressed. "Why are you crying so sadly?" Mi Hongyu handed her a bottle of nutritional supplements. "You haven't figured it out yet? If you draw, you win." Grandpa Wei was taken into account by my old fox. "You, a proper chess piece, have to work hard. The kind who help count the money after being sold. Please make it clear." Taoran also felt this way, but she was still confused. The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 625. Taoran was so exhausted that he could no longer think straight. "You made it clear to me. Mi Hongyu looked at her with pity and sat down facing her. Tao Rans quickly understood that he had really fallen into a fox's den. Let me ask you, you are already so good, and it was the military school that took advantage of me when I introduced you to the military academy. Why does my grandfather still use the gambling game as a bargaining chip? I don't know. Tao Ran thought of this, but didn't understand it. Stupid. Think about it, what did he say when he just made the bet? He only said that if Grandpa Wei loses, he will send someone to the first military academy. When did he say that he sent you in? You mean? You have a strong physique and strong mental strength. Grandpa Wei will definitely accept it? Isn't it unnecessary for him? So the people he wants to defend are other people. He deliberately said it vaguely, but both you and Grandpa Wei selectively ignored the meaning of his words. I take it for granted that you are the one who controls his fortress, but Grandpa Wei only thinks about winning and picking and collecting them at will. Tao Ran choked. Let me ask you again, have you ever thought about why Grandpa Wei subconsciously only listened to the bet he would get if he won? Why? Because he doesn't think he's going to lose. Why? Why? Because not everyone will let others know their true abilities. Just like you and me, we also hide something. Will you let others find out all your things easily? Of course not. Then you just is it too naive to conclude that Grandpa Wei's mental power level is S and based on just a brain search. Tao Ran was stunned. Therefore, what the optical brain searches is inaccurate. His mental power is SS. It was reached almost 10 years ago. Later, the injury was a little unstable, but he should have recovered almost in the past 2 years. He retired early, so there is no need to update the league information. In short, it is about this level. So don't be discouraged. You are not bad. No wonder old man Wei was so surprised when he heard someone wanted to compete with him in mental strength. SS level, that's a talent that the Alliance can't find even with a lantern. At this moment, Tao Ran didn't know whether to cry or laugh. Facts have proved that she is not that bad. Her previous prediction was good. Her mental strength should be around S+. But can she feel lucky to be manipulated like this? That's not right. Tao Ran rubbed his temples. Grandpa Wei is so strong, why does your grandpa still let me bet? I definitely can't win, how can he achieve his plan? I'm finally willing to use my brain to reflect. Children can be taught. Mi Hongyu reached out to touch Tao Ran's head with a look of relief, but she slapped it down. So you all take it for granted. Remember, what was the bet that the old fox said? He said that if Grandpa Wei couldn't win, he would have to arrange for someone to go to the first military academy. So now, has Grandpa Wei won? So. Mi Hongyu smiled and shook his head. My old fox, the bet from the beginning was a draw. How is that possible? Tao Ran himself couldn't even guess that it would be a draw. How could he control it? Then let me tell you something else. But first, don't get angry. What to do? She was already starting to feel angry. As for me, my mental strength level is A+, one step away from S. The people my grandfather specially sent to chase me that day were all A+, just to see my ability. I met you at the Transit Star. I saw you fighting with people in the casino, and I saw that your mental strength and physical fitness were higher than mine. That's why I hired you. That day, my grandfather's men fired a tranquilizer gun at me in a sneak attack. You managed to save me first, which further proved my suspicion. Your mental strength is more than a little higher than A+. So I became more curious about you at that time, so I gave you your business card, thanked you for saving my life, and said I would repay you. If you are available, I want to take you by my side. When you came for treatment the day before yesterday, my grandfather took advantage of you to focus on pressing the acupoints and noticed that you were using your mental power. At that time, he tried to put his mental power on the acupuncture points, but, he was suppressed for a while. My grandfather's mental power level is S. If you can suppress him, it's at least S+. The old fox was thinking about how to maximize your interests. Today's bet will only be a draw. Ever since Grandpa Wei agreed to participate in the bet, the outcome was doomed. Since you and Grandpa Wei are about the same mental strength, Grandpa Wei will definitely not be willing to give up on you once he discovers your extraordinary abilities. He cherishes talents, will definitely let you enter the first military academy, and will not be willing to hurt your self-esteem. So he will never let you lose. Of course, he can't lose to you, so the outcome will only be a draw. Everything is under the old fox's plan. Mi Hongyu crossed his legs. Now I understand why the old fox got you under Grandpa Wei's company before he came. Because you can no longer represent you. Now if Grandpa Wei and the military academy want to fight for your affiliation, they have to go through him. To put it bluntly, at this moment, as a seller, he is discussing with the buyer what conditions and price he will use to sell you. Pity you, you can't even get your share. Am I right? Did you help count the money after being sold? You just tried your best and made some profits, but the old fox took them all. Without having to pay anything, he got an extra place in the military academy and earned a lot of conditions for free. I'm afraid Grandpa Wei still owes him a favor. He is the kind of person who behaves well even when he gets a bargain. You can't beat my old one. Can you understand now why I ran away? If you can't count, can you not run? Tao Ran took a deep breath to calm himself down. She hadn't felt so aggrieved in a long time. She has always been tricking people, but this time, she was completely tricked. You and I are in the same boat. I understand you. Mi Hongyu was quite interesting and went to get 2 more tubes of nourishing potion, but don't worry, I will protect you from now on. Or, we can join forces to resist him. Tao Ran drank 2 tubes of the expensive potion in one go, then got up and went to the shelf to open a bottle of limited edition wine. If she didn't take advantage of it, she might suffocate to death. It's an accident for your family that I want to enter the military academy. Why did your grandfather suddenly want to send someone to the first military academy? Tao Ran still didn't understand. Maybe, it was because of your appearance that he changed his plan. Mi Hongyu raised his head to look at her. Is it related to me? Tao Ran narrowed his eyes. So the people in his fortress. That's me. Mi Hongyu smiled brightly. The air became stagnant. 1 second, 2 seconds. In the 3rd second, Tao Ran's fist had already been punched out. It turns out you are the culprit. Then I will beat you until you can't go to the military academy. Unfortunately, running is what I'm best at. Mi Hongyu avoided her punch, but did not close his mouth. You don't want to be my girlfriend or bodyguard, but you have become a shareholder of my grandfather's company and his subordinate. You have also become my classmate. You will be my comrade in arms and my colleague in the future. You are destined to be with me. I'm destined. Just like now, even if I run away, you have to chase me. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 626. When Old Man Wei extended his hand to welcome Tao Ran and Mi Hongyu to join the first military academy, Tao Ran had to accept this reality even though he felt uncomfortable all over. Old Man Mi did not shy away from her, and directly told her the reason why Mi Hongyu enrolled in school. He said that since his body could be cured, there was no need for him to live out his life. Xiaomi is naturally no longer anxious about taking over the industry. Since Xiaomi has fought for 2 years of freedom, instead of leaving him outside to cause trouble, it would be better to send him to a military academy to not only hone his character but also his character and get rid of his looseness. Mi Hongyu added in Tao Ran's ear. In addition, the old man also wants me to develop a relationship with you. Tao Ran glanced at it and immediately corrected it. Don't misunderstand, it's the relationship between comrades in arms. It is said that the relationship between comrades in arms is the strongest. The old man hopes that you can become my helper in the future. In addition, he said that we should supervise each other. He said that in the future, he would visit him regularly. You talk and ask about my performance in the military academy, old fox. So, he also asked you to spy on me. It's supervision, not as serious as surveillance. He introduced you to the military academy, but your origin and intention are unknown. I was afraid that you would cause trouble and harm my family, so I asked me to follow you. Since it's surveillance, why do you tell me? I said it's supervision, not surveillance. Just because I'm supervision, I'm not afraid of you knowing. I'm afraid of trouble. I don't want to hide anything from you, and I'm too lazy to play tricks on you, so let's save some trouble. I'm telling you now just to let you know, follow the rules and don't cause trouble to anyone. At this moment, Mi Hongyu was unusually serious. However, the next second, he turned back to his playful smile. Of course, I don't want to go to the military academy. So I will tell you the old man's other purpose. If you are not satisfied, you can rise up now and cancel the matter of going to the military academy. Then, I will fully cooperate with you. Tao Ran looked away. You dream. Since I've fallen into the fox's den, it's not a bad thing to drag you to the wolf's den. If something goes wrong, I'll use you to support me. If I want to do something bad, I'll let you deal with the aftermath. If there's danger, I'll use you to block the arrow. Okay, Mi Hongyu spread his hands. Hurt each other, or in the worst case, we will perish together. Tao Ran, who had a headache, was so confused that he was led by someone's nose and got a recommended place in the first military academy. She thought about it. Having Mi Hongyu by his side actually brings more advantages than disadvantages. She had just arrived, and she didn't know a lot of things, so she needed someone who knew everything. There were only a few women in the army, so it would definitely be inconvenient, and she needed someone to connect with her. If she suddenly landed in the air, she would definitely become the center of attention, but if he was here, she would become a foil. No matter how conspicuous it is, just leave it like that. And the benefits of having Wizen came out. After lunch, the principal of the first military academy, Konur, was quietly called over. Another old man. Tao Ran and Mi Hongyu both took the test and filled out the forms. Mi Hongyu's physical fitness and mental strength are both A+, and he is already a young man with good quality. Tao Ran finally did a complete test for the first time. The 5 months of hard work at Kotstar paid off, and her physical fitness improved from B and to A. As for mental strength, the machine tested it twice, both were S+. This gave her a slight sigh of relief. Looking at the numerical value, Kona's mouth opened in an O shape and he walked around Tao Ran several times excitedly. I thought it was rubbish that landed in the air, but who would have thought that someone would bring a treasure to my door? Tao Ran and Mi Hongyu were temporarily invited out, and the three old men talked together. Kona was still looking at the machine data and couldn't help but feel happy. To be honest with you, the first military academy has not produced a student with such good statistics for a long time. Old man Mi, that's why I sent her to you. Old man Wei, although we are not in the military, we are all paying attention. We know that the person with the highest mental strength in the first military academy is Luke, S+, but he will graduate in half a year. Next is Chen Di, who is in the 3rd grade. He has the highest mental strength. Although his strength reaches S, his physique cannot keep up, and he is barely able to catch fire. Although there are several S students in the school, they are not all round. So the first military academy has been tepid in the past 2 years. This time, we can feel proud. Indeed. Several old men toasted. The first military academy more than 20 years ago was truly the number one in the league. And their tradition is to produce heavy mecha warriors. The school has always been a leader in heavy mecha research and equipment. Heavy mechas are the most powerful weapons in battle. But in addition to the requirements for mental strength, the requirements for physical fitness and control are equally important, and what is needed is a comprehensive talent. In recent years, the entire league has been short of talent, with almost no all-round talent. Other military academies that focus on light mechas have taken advantage and recruited a large number of talents. This has also caused the ranking of the first military academy to decline year by year. Now among the 5 major military academies in Central Star, it is always at the bottom of the list. Old Man Wei, when this child is in your hands, you must protect it. I just fought with her and had a head-on confrontation with her mental strength. This child has hard work, perseverance, and potential. Then the 51st GE, I used 80% of my mental strength to rush over. Really? Really? This means that she is not far away from SS level. Several people raised and clinked their glasses together. The Alliance has not produced a talent with SS mental power for more than 10 years. Think about it, even if Nai Ronghai's precious son's mental strength reaches S-, it can help him win a lot of votes. So waiting for the first military academy to reveal SS-level talents will definitely have a great impact on the election. The first military academy is about to regain its glory. Several old men insisted on getting together. Old Me waved his hand and asked them to serve the wine, meat, and dishes quickly, regardless of how long it had been since lunch. Tao Ran glanced at the admission application form that he had filled out for himself. The above constitution is no problem. But in terms of mental strength, I got an A+. Very good, she originally wanted to ask for a lower fee. She didn't want to cause any trouble. Old Man Me, don't worry, no one will mess with you. From now on, you will not only be the treasure of my Me group, but also the treasure of the first military academy. You can walk sideways, so what are you afraid of? We want you to restrain your light first, and then come unexpectedly to blow up the scene and blind those people. Wei Sen smiled so hard that he showed 10 teeth. Little girl, what are your plans to enter the military academy? Get the new king. This sentence made the 3 old men laugh again and drank 3 glasses of wine together. According to the popular science around Mi Hongyu, the first military academy is affiliated with the First Army. The First Army was actually the central army of the earlier alliance. After nearly 100 years of turmoil, it became increasingly comfortable and factions grew. Some people became ambitious, had differences, and refused to admit defeat. In the end, the Central Army split into several factions. The 3 old men in front of me were all from the first military academy. As orthodoxy declines day by day, they will inevitably feel sad. So these old people actually call other factions white-eyed wolves in their hearts. For example, Nai Ronghai, whom you despise, my old man often scolded him in private as a conspirator and careerist. Since he has the ability of SS, he does not defend his country, does not go to the front line to destabilize the star, does not go to save civilians, he only wave flags and shout slogans. Who only thinks about fighting for power and gain, is a hypocritical garbage. So when you scolded Nai Ronghai the day before yesterday, you actually hit my old man's heart. Thanks to the book friend whose tail number is 22,576, the reward from the Immaculate Heart Baby. Compare your heart. The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 627. This meal lasted 2 hours. After the meal, Kona secretly left through the back door, while Wei Sen and Tao Ran left an hour apart. Tao Ran was still sent home by Mi Hongyu. They will report to the first military academy in a week. Until then, the matter will be kept secret to prevent any complications. In order to temporarily hide Taoran's true strength, Principal Kona will arrange for her to skip all physical examinations. This also made Taoran feel relieved. There is no need to draw blood and no genetic records, so no one will know her relationship with Nai Ronghai. In addition, the military academy will also make the decision and arrange for people to cover up the background of Baofu and her father to prevent anyone from causing trouble in the future. This was more in line with Taoran's wishes. From Mi Hongyu's mouth, Taoran also learned that the candidate Shi Mo was secretly supported by the First Army in this election. How is this guy? Pragmatic. He is a hard worker. He repays his kindness. He has done a lot for his alma mater, the First Military Academy, over the years. For those old men, this is enough. Tao Rangong did a mental check and found that this person's support rate ranked only 4th among the 5 candidates. Always 4th. Just like the First Military Academy, neither tepid nor eye-catching. Mi Hongyu smiled, but judging from the excitement of those old men today, I'm afraid they won't be able to restrain themselves soon. Old men should want to fight for their own families. Our Mi family sent me to the First Military Academy, which is equivalent to taking a stand. Just one word? You don't have any idea. No, Taoran didn't need to have any ideas. All she wants is that Nai Ronghai cannot be the head of state. She is mainly responsible for Tangzhou. Time passed quickly, and 3 days passed in the blink of an eye. During this period, Taoran went to Mi's house again to help the old man with his treatment. The old man's legs were completely free of the crutches, which was a miracle. Under the nourishment of spiritual energy, old man Mi was full of energy, his face was rosy, and he looked young. The old man was a shrewd man and was afraid of causing unnecessary trouble. He didn't even let his personal doctor know that his legs and feet were improving. He is very curious about miscellaneous knowledge and keeps asking questions every time. Taoran was imaginative and talking nonsense. If the old man asked about a contradiction, she would just say, "You won't understand even if I explain it to you. My master has passed away, and I have many unanswered questions. As long as you take advantage of it, find out what you're doing." The old man wanted something from her, and even though he knew that she didn't tell much truth and was criticized every time, he could only indulge her. Taoran not only received many gifts, but also received his first dividend from the group. Seeing the tens of millions of star coins arriving, Taoran was still in a good mood. She earned this. Knowing that because she had been in and out of Mi's house frequently recently, there were always curious people following her, so on this day, she simply went to the Central Star Shopping Plaza and started walking down from the 100th floor. In just 1 hour, she spent 3 million star coins. Well, just buying clothes and shoes. I didn't buy any expensive things like jewelry. This shopping ability and shopping habits are in line with her image as a wealthy daughter, isn't it? I have to say, it feels quite cool to have something you like, wrapped up in full colors, shelf after shelf. Then, she spent another 10 minutes buying a gift for Princess Nai, whose birthday was the day after tomorrow. The person should not be too shabby there. But she really doesn't want to pay a penny. But in the end, she chose a set of jewelry. After returning home, Taoran found Zhou Heiya. "Do you want to celebrate your birthday?" "Huh? I'm so miserable that I don't know when my birthday is." "It's not important. I think this Sunday is your birthday. I'm going to throw a party for you. Then invite some distinguished guests to wish you a happy birthday. As long as you are happy. Just make up for the birthdays you haven't had in the past 50 years. Whatever. Just remember to pay." Taoran responded. For no other reason than to receive a gift or some cash. For example, Princess Nai. Today's gift to Princess Nai is worth 100,000 star coins, but I feel so distressed. When the time comes, send invitations to her whole family and receive a gift of 500,000 star coins from her whole family. If they want to win over themselves, they will definitely pay for it. After all, after reporting to the military academy next week, her friendship with Princess Nai will come to an end. Now if I don't earn back the gift money, I feel aggrieved just thinking about the gift of 100,000 star coins. At this birthday party, let alone that cheating Mi Hongyu. I deserve a beating. He saw that Jo Haeya always talked about uncle. Since he was filial, he should naturally spend more money to buy wine for his uncle. Tao Ran already had a plan. She definitely didn't plan to entertain those people. Then she found an excuse to escape. Well, just in time, Princess Nai and Mi Hongyu were left to fall in love and kill each other. Look how dare he offend himself. Seeing Jo Haeya struggling on the treadmill, Tao Ran suddenly felt guilty. It's not easy for this guy either. After suffering for more than 20 years, I seem to be too harsh on him. She directly transferred 1 million star coins to him. Pocket money, just use it. Aren't you afraid of my lavish spending? I'm not afraid anymore. I've made money. There's no use for the money anyway. I've made money to support you. You just need to be happy. Tao Ran didn't know that when her words came out, Jo Haeya felt sad. How could he be such a good partner, and when he thought of partners, he thought of his brothers on the planet Kot. They are still suffering. Looking at his mansion, he felt uncomfortable for the first time. Instead of squandering it, why doesn't he save money and spend it with his brothers in the future? After thinking about it, he adjusted the treadmill's gear to a higher level. He wants to be healthy, he wants to improve his physique, and he wants to wait until the day he reunites with his brothers. If Tao can fight so hard for his goal, why can't he fight for his friends on Kot Star? They risked their lives to protect him, and he owed it to them. Jo Haeya suddenly discovered that after living for more than 50 years, he had a clear goal in his life for the first time. Tao Ran also went to the basement. After being arrested for a week without any improvement, Vincent has resigned himself to his fate. So when Tao Ran asked him about the Nai family and the Nai family, he already knew everything. Going to Nai's house is probably the only chance. Tao Ran felt that he had to confirm something. Thinking that he would be able to enter the Nai family openly soon, Tao Ran stopped following the Nai family recently and spent all day in the training room. Either soul refining or martial arts training, or cultivation. She knew that if her physical fitness could not keep up with Nai Ronghai's, she might never be able to avenge Tangzu. Jenny Nai's birthday is here. The banquet place is at Nai's house. Mi Hongyu came early in the morning. He had breakfast abruptly. Because his family was so rich, Jo Haeya had always been extremely enthusiastic towards him, so he brought out the best ingredients to entertain him without any fuss. Of course, under Tao Ran's instruction, Jo Haeya also invited him to a birthday party 3 days later. Mi Hongyu agreed and said that he would definitely prepare a birthday gift. The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 628. So on this day, Tao Ran still took Mi Hongyu's car to Nai's house. In her heart, the relationship with Mi Hongyu is one of mutual need and use. Each takes what he needs. For example, in the past few days, she knew that Mi Hongyu, as the direct grandson of the Mi family, was not only secretly protected, but even his car was explosion-proof. Follow him, at least you don't have to be tight all the time. Then why did she refuse his kindness? Tao Ran, what level are the people who protect you? 1S-, 2A+, and several high-performance omnidirectional scanning and anti-sneak attack robots. It's not easy for someone with SS capabilities to kill me, he shrugged. Just because Mi Hongyu was so difficult to kill, Tao Ran knew how difficult it would be to take revenge on Nai Ronghai. Not only did she have to become stronger, she also had to use a lot of strength to do so. Tao Ran, can you trust your people? Mi Hongyu slapped his chest, absolutely loyal to me. What's your relationship with me? Tao Rangziao asked. Friend. If we are friends, we should help each other, right? As long as I don't stab you at all costs, I can probably help you. Well, then I might want to borrow one of your people. The birthday party was held in the garden. It's a lawn luncheon. Exquisite and high-end. 80% of the guests have arrived. At first glance, most of them are ladies from high-ranking families. The 3-story red brick villa in front of me is Nai Ronghai's home. Tao Ran gritted his teeth. I never expected that poor Tang Zuwai would come to this home in this capacity. As soon as the two appeared, they attracted a lot of attention. When Nai Zhenyi saw that Tao Ran had kept his promise and brought Mi Hongyu to the banquet, he became happy and hurriedly stepped forward to greet him. Seeing the princess coming to greet her, Tao Ran took out a gift and wished her this day every year, but in his heart he was wishing that she would never have such a scene in the future, and that today would be her last song. Mi Hongyu also smiled and handed over the birthday gift prepared by his butler. Thank you, sister, thank you, brother you. I will open the gifts together later. Don't mind, sister and brother you. A housekeeper came up, piled the gifts aside, and wrote his name on the card. Nai Zhenyi squeezed between the two of them, and was about to hold them one by one, but her left hand was empty, and Mi Hongyu went directly around to the wine table. Brother you still only makes out with sister Zhenyi. Nai's embarrassment showed her sourness again. He has always been awkward, so don't pay attention to him. Tao Ran said bluntly, I'm not interested in him. In my eyes, he is just a sister. Tao Ran looked around and found that Zhenyi Nai was the only one greeting the guests. On this occasion, Dissy was not seen. I haven't met your mother yet. Oh, she hasn't been in good health recently. She won't come out until the luncheon starts and the cake is cut. You go and greet the others, I'll visit by myself. Tao Ran got a glass of wine. Sister, please help yourself first. Another guest happened to arrive, and Zhenyi Nai hurriedly stepped forward to greet them. Tao Ran began to observe the Nai family's house. Size, construction, layout. Of course, using mental power. Nai Ronghai was at work at the moment, so she had no worries. After looking outside, she went directly into the house with the wine in hand. The first floor of the villa is completely open. Tao Ran walked step by step, pretending to be visiting, but actually matching the size and layout of each room with the 3-story model he had just built in his mind. She wanted to know, was there any secret room in Nai Ronghai's building? She could lock up Vincent in her own home. Is it possible for Nai Ronghai to lock up Tang Yu in his own home? That's the most reassuring thing, isn't it? Although it was unlikely, Tao Ran still hoped to confirm it. Houses here generally have basements. She searched. It was later discovered that the basement and kitchen of this home were connected. The basement door is open, and the cooks are going up and down to get wine and items from the underground. Tao Ran walked straight over and no one came to stop him. She only glanced at the basement door. Once the mental power passes through, the size will be determined. The basement is no problem either. Tao Ran went up to the second floor again. She met a nanny who didn't stop her from going upstairs. She went to the restroom on the second floor first. The second floor is no problem either. When she came out of the bathroom, she pretended to be attracted by the oil paintings on the corridor and walked to the third floor while admiring them. She has already inquired about the master bedrooms on the third floor. As soon as she reached the third floor, she was stopped this time. Miss, the third floor is not open to VIPs. The person who came was a housekeeper. Is Mrs. Nai on the third floor? Tao Ran naturally couldn't lose her momentum and raised suspicion, so she raised her neck. Are you looking for our wife? Yes. Tao Ran was not stupid, she had already seen surveillance everywhere. If you dare to walk around under surveillance, You must have a good excuse. I just thought your wife was arranging a banquet, so I went to the kitchen. They said your wife was upstairs, so I came to take a look. The butler looked slightly relaxed. Our wife is still preparing. May I ask your surname and what you want to do with your wife? I will convey it to you. Taoran was well prepared and took out an invitation with a strong sense of ceremony from his handbag. My father has a birthday in a few days, and he wants to invite his wife to attend the birthday banquet. My father spent a lot of money to take a painting in a black market, and it is difficult to tell whether it is genuine or not. I heard that my wife has a good appreciation of art, and I want to ask her to help me. Take a look. To show my solemnity, I came to invite you personally. There were many people outside, so it was inconvenient to take out the post in front of everyone, but I didn't expect it to be rude. I have sent the post. I hope Madam can appreciate it. After Taoran said that, he turned around swaggeringly, looking like he was unhappy about being splashed with cold water. Before reaching the second floor, the housekeeper ran down and said it was Madam's invitation. I knew it would be like this. When I looked at the invitation, I saw that it was a man named Bao who had recently become famous in Central Star and was active in the Mi family. Who wouldn't want to make friends with him? Her origins are mysterious. She belongs to a reclusive wealthy family, and the last time she told Nai Jenny, the news about their betrayal from the wealthy family has been spread, so that her name has become as popular as Mi Hongyu recently. No matter how reclusive Dissy was, there was no way she would not be aware of her. And the more he doesn't know her details, who dares to offend her? No, Dissy came to the stairs in person to apologize to her. Is it Miss Bao? I'm really sorry for neglecting you. This is a thin and small woman with a smile on her face, but her dark eyes are shining. Taoran felt that she and Nai Ronghai were a good match, but at first glance they looked hypocritical and calculated. Taoran accepted her apology generously. This family owed Tangzu, and his daughter too much, so this nod and bow of apology would not even be considered as interest. The more arrogant Taoran became, the more Dissy speculated, and the less she dared to be cold-faced. Just like that, inexplicably, Taoran walked in front, and Dissy stayed by her side, introducing her to the oil paintings in the corridor. Taoran chatted with her from time to make distrust her artistic quality. Taoran was happy and disappointed. These 3 floors are still in a very normal layout. She dispersed her mental power and found nothing wrong. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 629. Taoran walked out of the villa with Dissy. Everyone who saw this took in breath again. Who is this person? None of them have seen Mrs. Nai today, but Miss Bao was accompanied and received personally by Mrs. Nai as soon as she arrived. It was really extraordinary. Dissy called her daughter to come over and greet Taoran while she made other arrangements. At that time, Jenny Nai and Mi Hongyu had no idea what had just been said. One bit his lip in grievance, and the other raised his eyebrows. Taoran only found out after asking Nai Jenny that he had been tricked by the guy named Mi again. In order to avoid Jenny Nai, the guy used her as a shield without her consent. I'm chasing Xiaofu, I like her. I want her to be my girlfriend. So I will stay away from other girls, not even my sister. I'm sorry. From now on, stay away from me, that's what he told me. Jenny Nai's. So he got rid of the entanglement. He also sent a light brain message to Taoran. Help each other. Taoran, scumbag. He just put Taoran in an embarrassing situation. Taoran just smiled, pulled Nai Jenny away, and once again emphasized that she was not interested in Mi Hongyu. She also made a thunderous oath about her father, saying that she would never be with that guy. Seeing her sincerity, Jenny finally laughed. Ran also said that if Jenny was interested, he could help create an opportunity to bring him and Mi Hongyu together, and invited her to attend the birthday banquet at his home in 2 days, and then arrange for her to be alone with Mi Hongyu. A woman chases a man, and there is a veil between them. As long as she works hard, Mi Hongyu will definitely fall under her pomegranate skirt. Who doesn't know how to retaliate against wrongs? Jenny was eager to get close to Ran, so she naturally agreed to the banquet. As for being alone with Mi Hongyu, she half promised but refused, and then she took Ran's older sister, who was getting better again, and her younger sister. Everyone present was shocked again when they saw this. How could that Baofu match sister Jenny so quickly? Sure enough, there is no doubt that this Baofu is from the Proud clan. The birthday party started soon. Place the 7-layer cake tower. Fireworks and balloons went up to the sky one after another. Speech, blessing, lighting candles, cutting cake. It's really boring. Mi Hongyu still doesn't understand why she dragged herself to this banquet. Ran glanced at the gift table on one side. How else would you say she is a little princess? The various gifts have piled up into a small mountain. Even though many celebrities who have avoided suspicion due to Nai Ronghai's recent scandals did not arrive, the gifts have arrived. Under the cheers of everyone, Jenny Nai began to open the gifts one by one. Nai Ronghai gave her a customized version of the optical computer, saying that it contained various courses. He hoped that she could always remember to enrich herself and become a better version of herself, because only in this way can she better repay the society and benefit the people. What this gave was an antique oil painting collected by her family. Nai Hua put the trophy and bonus he won last year in a gift box. The whole family is all hypocritical, trying different ways to shape their own personalities. Jenny leaned her head against Dissy and expressed that she liked all these gifts and enjoyed the photos taken by everyone. Then she specially dialed the photo brain and thanked Nai Ronghai and Nai Hua. The video connection was like a show. While giving their blessings, Mr. and his son also expressed concern for the country and the people. Ran simply admires their ability to integrate acting into life. The sycophants present not only filmed the birthday party, but some also broadcast it live. Of course, it was all with the permission of the Nai family. The Nai family regards every social interaction as an opportunity to express themselves, and naturally they will not miss it. They also hired professional photographers, some who can take snapshots, and some who can record the whole process. Then Jenny Nai started to open other gifts. First of all, there were several senior ladies present, all of whom were extraordinary. Probably because she really liked Ran, Princess Nai put the gift from Ran in front to open. The valuable gemstone necklace greatly exceeded Jenny's expectations. They had only met once before today. Just doing it this way was so surprising. Everyone present also confirmed once again that Baofu's family background is unusually rich. At this time, it was difficult for everyone not to notice the most exquisite and largest gift box at the top of the gift pile. When I asked, it was just delivered by the guard. When the housekeeper looked at the guard's marked card, he quickly gave it to Jenny Nai happily. The card is labeled, Linda Writer. Ms. Linda gave me a gift. Jenny's favorite was the female writer Linda. She wrote to Linda twice and invited her to come to her home to play, but unfortunately she declined both times. I really didn't expect that Linda would remember her birthday this time, which was a huge gain for her. The scene suddenly became boiling. Linda, the famous writer, actually gave Jenny a birthday gift. This Jenny's life is really enviable. Jenny quickly asked the housekeeper to bring over the gift box given by Linda. Quite heavy. It can't be a book, right? There is a handwritten card from Linda on the gift box. Happy birthday to my dearest sister Jenny. In full view of everyone, a beaming Jenny carefully opened the lid of the gift box. The sweet smell of the cake is already wafting out. At first glance, it looks like a cake. It's such a big cake, about a dozen inches, right? The design of the cake is quite simple, with only a digital painting printed in the middle. This painting. Everyone raised their necks, wanting to see what the huge painting on the cake was. Several optical brains attacked. No one noticed that at this time, Taoran's eyes fell lightly on the faces of Dissy and Nai Jenny. The moment the cake box was completely opened, a female voice floated out of the cake as the birthday song played. In just 2 seconds, Dissy's face became distorted, her face twitched, and her teeth clenched. Something was wrong with Jenny Nai, too. Her eyes were already big, but when they became rounder now, they felt like they were about to fall out. Between these mother and daughter, one has venom in his eyes and is filled with anger, while the other has infinitely magnified fear in his eyes, like seeing a ghost. As for the others, they were still looking at the cake curiously. Above is a photo. The two people in the photo are somewhat similar, and they are probably a mother and daughter. Smile like a flower, smile brightly. Is that woman in the photo Linda the writer? Linda Writer and her daughter? This is what everyone guessed. But how old is writer Linda? Is my daughter that old? The mother and daughter in the photo are beautiful. But writer Linda doesn't seem so beautiful. Did she have plastic surgery recently? From the cake box, a gentle female voice floated out, "We, mother and daughter, wish Jenny a happy birthday. I hope your happiness will continue." Then, the female voice changed again. This time it sounded much younger. "It should be the blessing of the young girl on the screen, my only biological sister. I really hope we can meet soon. I haven't thanked you for your care yet." Then, there was a burst of laughter. Coupled with the smiling faces of the mother and daughter on the cake, it is quite vivid. Of course, this is just the feeling of the onlookers. In the eyes of Dissy and Nai Jenny, it was very strange. Dissy's whole body was shaking, and then she started shouting, put it away quickly." But Jenny Nai beside her looked like she was crazy. Ghost. Ghost. It was Taoran's fault. The digital photos printed on the cake are of Tang Yu and Tangzu mother and daughter. The first step in her plan was to test. She had to figure out how many targets there were for revenge, and she wanted to see if the mother and daughter of the Nai family were also the perpetrators. If they knew nothing and were really innocent, it would be impossible for them to know Tang Yu. Just like other guests at the scene, they would only guess whether the people in the photo were the writer and his daughter. Even if Jenny Nai knew Linda personally, she should have shown a confused and unclear expression at best. Unfortunately, people's first reaction is the most true. The mother and daughter obviously recognized the person in the photo at first sight. One of them hates and the other fears. Isn't this kind of reaction enough to explain the problem? Why did Dis want the cake to be put away? Jenny Nai was even more exaggerated. Why did she call her a ghost? Who is the ghost? Why a ghost? It can only be said that she knew that the person in the photo was already dead. In other words, at least one of them is dead. The looping sound sounded like a blessing to other people, but to this mother and daughter, it was a curse. So the final expressions of both Nai family members turned into fear. The mother and daughter were guilty of committing crimes and were frightened. Taoran looked at them, his expression frozen. She even saw the horror on the butler's face. There really isn't anyone good in the Nai family. After confirming the target, she won't be afraid of accidental injury if she takes action next time. Taoran knew Jenny Nai's idol from Vincent. In order to please the Nai family, he had often inquired about these trivial matters. The writer Linda was a noble person and lived in an alien world. She rarely appeared in public, so Taoran borrowed her name. Taoran had made plans early in the morning. The cake has been ordered in advance. She used her mental power to copy and depict the photos of Tang Yu and Tang Zhu's mother and daughter in her memory on her optical brain, dubbed the two of them with her voice as good as the voice actors, and fixed the recorder on the cake. Tao Ran also studied Linda's handwriting habits and used his mental power to forge the greeting cards. Nai Jenny was in high spirits, so naturally she couldn't tell the slight flaws. The cake was packed in the most beautiful custom-made gift box, and a special person and car were hired to deliver it in the name of the writer. The guard machine scanned it and confirmed that the gift box was an ordinary cake, so it was naturally released. At this moment, Jenny Nai's expression was almost crazy. Dissy was busy asking someone to quickly cover the cake box and take it away, but when the housekeeper turned around, she realized that the cake box was missing. Well, naturally it has something to do with Tao Ran. As soon as the cake was opened, Tao Ran deliberately pushed forward with the optical computer, and accidentally pushed the lid of the box on the table to the ground. Now, the lid of the box has been stepped on and can no longer be closed. This is not writer Linda and her daughter Tao Ran hummed in the crowd immediately. When everyone heard this, they became even more curious. If not the writer mother and daughter, then who are they? What did that voice just say? Is Jenny Nai her biological sister? But who doesn't know that Nai Ronghai only has one precious daughter? Immediately, everyone who was confused saw Nai Jenny shouting ghost. So at this moment, all the optical brains focused on the faces of the cake and Jenny Nai. Jenny Nai gave her mother a look and tried to force herself to calm down, but her expression was unbearable. Everyone could see her fear. Dissy stepped forward. She wanted to smash the cake with a slap, but she couldn't. She could only quickly ask everyone to stop recording, saying that someone was playing a prank. She held her daughter's hand in comfort. In fact, both mother and daughter were in the same state of collapse at this moment. What happened? Is the person in the photo alive? Is that mother and daughter back? Impossible. Nai Ronghai can lie to others, but Nai Hua is of the same mind as them, so naturally he will not lie to them. There is absolutely no way for Tang Zhu to survive. Is there someone who wants to avenge the mother and daughter? That's not right either. Doesn't it mean that they have no relatives? Also, what about writer Linda? Are they their accomplices, or are they being used as a cover? Dissy and Nai Jenny had a lot of questions in their minds. Mom. SHHH, are you suffering from hypoglycemia again? Don't talk yet. After a few glances from Dis, a group of waiters came running over to separate everyone. The butler was busy taking away the cake. Tao Ran saw it in his eyes. How could he let them succeed? As soon as she moved her hand, the butler's foot slipped. Everything after that. Naturally, the butler fell down before the waiter arrived and before everyone dispersed. The cake flew. Tao Ran, on the other hand, was just sealed in front of the butler, which was the direction in which the cake flew out. Seeing that the cake was about to hit Tao Ran's luxurious black and gold dress, Mi Hongyu subconsciously wanted to pull him away, but he got a sideways look from Tao Ran. Mi Hongyu retracted his hand. Yes. What skills does she have? Need to worry about it yourself? Snored. He is a tool, but the tool is the end of the matter. He held the optical brain in his hand and ignored Dis's cry not to allow photography. While continuing to take photos of the scene, he started a live broadcast of a small group of his friends and transmitted the captured content to it. Isn't he a tool? He finally understood why he was forced to attend the banquet by that woman. He was her assistant and came to help her with things. In his small group, there are all rich guys like Mi Hongyu. No matter how much the Nai family keeps his mouth shut about his broadcast, there is no hope. Even if he, Nai Ronghai, takes action, he can't shut the mouths of the powerful family. Mi Hongyu's camera moved forward. I saw the cake flying straight onto the skirt of the woman opposite. Laugh. Looking at her expression of fear and confusion, it was difficult for me Hong Yu not to sneer coldly. Tao Ran was in a hurry and subconsciously reached out to pat the cake. With this shot, the cake will naturally become crumbly. The entire cake was shot into the air by her just like the fireworks. Several pounds of cream were smashed into pieces and scattered all over the sky, like flying catkins, flying down above everyone and landing on many people, causing a series of commotions and screams. However, compared to these butters falling from the sky, the screams of the people who kept screaming were because of something else. Because, just like the butter, it is flying all over the sky, and what is falling from the sky are hundreds of photos. Well, who would have thought that the middle of the cake would be filled with photos? The content of each photo of falling snow is the same. The last update of 2021. I wish all babies safety and success in 2022 and great prosperity. Thank you all for your company and your monthly votes. Thanks to Xiaoyao, Shuchen Shangzhen, Daodu, Book Friend Tale number 22955, Yao Ruwei and other babies for their rewards. Let's see you tomorrow. Let's compare our feelings. The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 630. The content of each photo is the mother and daughter on the cake. In the photos, they smile brightly and are very happy. But there are 8 dazzling red bold words on the photo: debts must be repaid, blood debts must be repaid with blood. These bloody words paired with that smile are indescribably weird and terrifying. And behind each photo, there is a bloody handprint. Everyone's mouths were open and closed. Even if the cream stained their dresses, no one could care about it for the time being. What does this mean? Someone came to visit Jenny Nai on her birthday, and they were obviously targeting the Nai family. But Nai Jenny is a little girl and Dissy is a noble woman. It is impossible for them to have a blood feud with others. So, is it Nai Ronghai? Or is it Nai Hua, who has frequently performed missions on behalf of the 3rd Military Academy in recent years? Judging from the reactions of Nades and Nai Jenny, they clearly know the mother and daughter in the photo. I am afraid that this family has really done something to them. Everyone has started talking secretly. Some people are saying that the girl holding up her face in the photo looks a bit like Nai Ronghai. At first glance, it's true. Many people are thinking of the rumor that went viral a while ago that Nai Ronghai had an illegitimate daughter, but it was finally classified as a rumor. Isn't it a rumor? That's why the recording just mentioned some biological sisters. Blood debt? What will it be? Could it be that Nai Ronghai silenced him for the sake of the election? It shouldn't be that big of a deal, right? But everyone looked at Dissy and Jenny Nai cautiously. The ferocity on Dissy's face could no longer be hidden, and her whole body was exuding anger. Nai Jenny, on the other hand, was half broken, tearing up the photo, shaking her head and shouting no. Pitiful. Those photos are all plastic. Waterproof, fireproof, and tear-proof, Daoran carefully designed it. Sure enough, Jenny Nai showed her teeth and tore it several times, but the photo was still intact. She rushed over and took the musket with the candle that had just been lit on the table and started burning it. Unfortunately, it can't be lit. The photo couldn't be ruined, but her birthday was completely ruined. She was howling that someone was harming her and crying for someone to pick up the photos. Tao Ran sneered. In fact, this was not her original plan. She originally posted photos of Nai Ronghai, Tang Yu, and Tang Zhu's family. After the photos were printed, she changed her mind. She suddenly thought that the reason why Tang Yu secretly left back then was to completely cut off the relationship with Nai Ronghai. Once the relationship between Nai Ronghai and the mother and daughter is exposed now, wouldn't it be against Tang Yu's wishes? The same goes for Tang Zhu. She definitely doesn't want to deal with such a father. If this matter is exposed, it will be irreversible. Even if they succeed in revenge in the future, mother and daughter will never be able to forget Nai Ronghai for the rest of their lives. In addition, now Tang Yu and Tang Zhu cannot come forward to testify against Nai Ronghai, but on the contrary, that scumbag can pour all kinds of dirty water on Tang Yu. If he makes up something for Tang Yu and Tang Zhu, it will ruin their relationship. Reputation. So Chao Ran decided not to reveal anything, but to provide some specious evidence. That's fine. The more uncertain something is, the more it arouses curiosity. You can say whatever you want, guess which way you want. It is left to Tang Yu and others to decide whether to reveal their relationship with Nai Ronghai in the future. So Chao Ran changed the photo again. There are more than 300 photos in this dozen-inch cake. Dis wanted to get rid of the cake quickly, so she wanted everyone to know that she was hiding a secret. The reason why Chao Ran took so many photos was not only to ensure that everyone at the banquet could see them, but also to ensure that Dissy couldn't clean them up in a short time, and also to let everyone pass by, look at, grab, and there are speculations about this photo, and there are suspicions of spreading this photo, so when something happens around the photo in the future, it is completely impossible for the Nai family to catch the initiator among so many suspects. Of course, the most important thing is that Chao Ran wants to make Dissy and Nai Jenny more nervous, lose their temper, and collapse. In this way, they will be more likely to make mistakes. She was ready and waiting for the next step. Although Mi Hongyu was surprised by Chao Ran's action, he still didn't know. That's it? Is she just trying to ruin the other person's reputation? He looked at Chao Ran, but Chao Ran shook her head at him. Then, he saw Chao Ran angrily heading towards the villa. But at this time, Dissy, who was busy instructing her servants to clean up the photos scattered on the floor, and Nai Jenny, who was on the verge of collapse, did not notice her disappearance at all. Well, the butler who made the mistake had no idea. However, when a servant saw Chao Ran entering the room, he came up to ask. Mi Hongyu only saw her angrily pointing at the cream on her skirt and cursing something. The servant even apologized and didn't dare to stop her anymore, letting her go in. Got the villa. Even the security guards came to help clean up the photos on the ground. Dissy was busy explaining to everyone that everything was a misunderstanding and someone was causing trouble. Please help not spread misunderstandings. Nai Jenny's entire face was discolored, and she couldn't hold it in anymore. She wanted to blow her brains out several times, but Dissy stopped her and signaled her to calm down. As for Mi Hongyu, he always pointed the optical camera at Dis and the two of them, and secretly hid the photo, intending to keep it as a souvenir. Many people are covered in cream. The luxurious dress was stained. After Dissy apologized, she immediately ordered her servants to take them to clean it up. Too many people soil their clothes. All of a sudden, at least 20 or 30 people poured into the villa. Mi Hongyu smiled when he saw this, and thought to himself that the woman had obviously planned to fish in troubled waters by deliberately patting the cake into a cotton wool shape so that it would get evenly wet with rain and dew. They are all distinguished guests, so how dare you neglect them? All the bathrooms on the first and second floors were used for cleaning, and almost all the servants went to help. Dissy and Jenny Nai supported each other and angrily rushed up to the third floor, then entered the master bedroom and told the housekeeper to guard the stairs and not let anyone come up. Nai Jenny couldn't hold her breath and dialed Nai Hua almost as soon as the door closed. Brother, are you sure that the illegitimate daughter is dead? Dis was more cautious than her and pulled her into the inner room again, then asked her to turn on the loudspeaker. Nai Hua's confident voice came, of course she is dead. I have designed several insurances to ensure that she dies completely. Will there be an accident? Dis asked. Absolutely impossible. Her exile point is in the worst place on the planet Kot. There are no people, only ferocious beasts and severe radiation. She was not only seriously injured but also unconscious when she was put down. In a place like that, She will definitely die. If she gets out, what's up? Nai Hua shook his head after hearing this. The problem cannot be with that bastard. That bastard has no ability. He has been in school before and has no ability to survive. Even I can't survive in that situation. Even if she is lucky enough to be killed, rescue, there was no medical method to treat her after that. So she still had the only way to die. Not to mention escaping caught. That is simply a foolish dream. So you don't have to worry. If something goes wrong, it won't be with me. Xiahua, Disi's voice turned gloomy. Your dad, is it possible that he lied to me? Could he have saved the mother and daughter behind my back? You're not hiding anything from me, are you? The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 631. The two of them did not get any effective information from Nai Hua. So, the furious Dis made a video call directly to Nai Ronghai. You didn't kill that woman at all, did you? Which woman? Nai Ronghai was still in a meeting and didn't know yet that something was going on at home. That sweetheart of yours, Yutan. Yutan is Tang Yu's real name. What nonsense did you listen to? Disi was furious. Nai Ronghai, don't be so shameless. If you dare to challenge my patience again, I will definitely prevent you from getting the position you want. In front of Nai Ronghai, she changed her image of a gentle socialite and hit her directly. A classical vase was dropped. Nai Jenny quickly grabbed the optical brain and began to explain. Opposite Nai Ronghai heard that something happened at home, and his face darkened instantly. Dis, listen to me. Nai Ronghai? I have swallowed my anger too many times. The last time you brought that woman back and I found out, you already confirmed with me that she would be disposed of. But what about now? Let me tell you, my Di family will never be embarrassed like this. I just want to ask you, is that woman alive or dead? If you lie, don't blame me for breaking up. Calm down first. I have indeed not killed her yet. But this is not because her mental power level is extraordinary. You are hiding her. Do you still want to have children with her? Don't get excited yet. She has been locked up by me. Now let me confirm whether there are any changes in her. For the sake of the child, please be patient first. Nai Ronghai hung up the computer. Disi was so angry that she smashed many things one after another. Nai Jenny was frightened and cried while holding her. Dis, you scumbag. He has always looked down upon the mental strength of your brothers and sisters, so he plotted against Yutan. That's why he never gave up looking for Yutan, so he tried every means possible to bypass me and bring that evil obstacle back. I've made it this far. He really doesn't want to give up? Hiding from Yutan, I'm afraid that woman's belly was enlarged by him again. No, Nai Jenny looked pale and comforted her mother. Even if she gives birth again, she will definitely not survive. Mom, don't worry, the four of us are of the same mind and will never let anyone take away our happiness. Bastards shouldn't exist. We are here. Jenny Nai hugged her mother. Mom, Dad must be the head of state. You must be the first lady. I want to be the first princess of the alliance, and for the sake of my brother's bright future, please don't be impulsive. Give Dad a chance, he will definitely handle it. At this moment, Taoran was next door, in Nai Jenny's room. This room was only separated from the master bedroom by a wall. After she maximized her mental power, she could basically hear the conversation next door. She had already guessed that if the mother and daughter were flustered, surprised, frightened, angry and at a loss, they would definitely question Nai Ronghai and what they would say during their exchange. So, she had to try to listen to a corner. The only way she could think of was to cause trouble and cause a messy situation. Taoran really had no choice. There is no news about Tang Yu at all. If she dies, she must see her body and collect it for her. If she lives, then the longer time passes, the more dangerous she becomes. If you want to save her, you really can't delay it any longer. Today's plan, Taoran was just giving it a try, but he didn't think about it, so he actually let her hear it. She was finally completely sure that Tang Zhu's tragedy was the result of the conspiracy of Nai Hua, Nai Zhenyi, and Disi. She was even more fortunate that Tang Yu was not dead yet, but was just locked up. But she was also worried, fearing that Disi's suspicion was true, if Nai Ronghai really coveted Tang Yu's mental power and insulted him. Taoran's head was buzzing and aching. She only hoped that Tang Yu was as strong and smart as Vincent said, and that he used a method to hang Nai Ronghai instead of being imprisoned. Taoran sent a message to Mi Hongyu. Mi Hongyu replied instantly and told her that his people were already at Nai Ronghai's office building. As long as Nai Ronghai leaves, they will follow him from a distance. This is why Taoran asked Mi Hongyu for help. She had no other choice but to borrow his people and his means of transportation. And his people are all experienced professionals who have retired from the military. They are good at tracking and counter-tracking, and they are quite reliable. A minute later, Nai Ronghai made another video call in the next room. There's nothing wrong with me there. I just made a communication call, and the woman is still in jail and under strict control. I'll ask someone to verify it again. Since they are dead and detained one by one, who else is helping them? Nai Zhenyi shouted. Dad, I'm so embarrassed. My birthday party was ruined like this. Dad, when will you come back? Dad can't feel guilty, so he has to go back from get off work. Just calm down. Jenny, take care of your mother. It'll be okay. Zayasi, I've thought about it. Vincent should have done this. That guy knew that I had issued a pursuit order and didn't dare to come back, so he pretended to be a ghost and took revenge. You take care of your family first. Everything will be discussed after I come back. Taoran was prepared. She dared to do this because she was already prepared to let Vincent take the blame. Tang Yu and her daughter have no relatives, and Vincent is the only insider. Who else could it be but him? Taoran sent another message to Mi Hongyu, asking his people to follow him if they saw Nai Ronghai's cronies leaving. 5 minutes later, Taoran dialed Nai Zhenyi's optical brain. Can I come to your room? Nai Zhenyi was stunned after receiving the light brain. Baofu. When did she come to the 3rd floor? Still in her room? She quickly picked up her skirt and ran to the next room. When he pushed the door open and walked in, he saw Baofu, who was in a miserable state, wearing only a petticoat and a worried look on his face. Jenny, I really can't see anyone, so I have to come to your room first. I urgently need to borrow a pair of your skirts to wear. Nai Zhenyi saw that there was still cream on Baofu's hair and neck, and then she remembered that the cake in the butler's hand was flying towards Baofu. When the cake fell, the most cream fell on Baofu. Speaking of which, apart from himself, Baofu was the one who suffered the most at the banquet. No wonder, this sister looked like she was about to have an attack at any moment. Sister, when did you come? Jenny Nai asked carefully. It's been more than 10 minutes. 10 minutes, Nai Zhenyi was startled. Yes. Taoran looked impatient. Look at this cream, I can't clean it no matter how hard I wipe it off. I was cleaning it on the 2nd floor, but then I heard a lot of people coming upstairs. I hate being rushed upstairs, so I came to the 3rd floor. Look, I cleaned it up, it's still not clean yet. What do you think I should do? She frowned angrily. I thought you were dirty too, so you must go back to your room, but I kept waiting and you didn't come. I can only rush you. Taoran went into Nai Zhenyi's bathroom by herself. Jenny Nai followed and took a look, and the sink was covered with towels stained by her wiping cream. But, how do you know my room? If I remember correctly, all the servants went down at that time. Your mother pointed it out to me when she took me to visit. Jenny Nai, Taoran was angry. Are you going to lend me some clothes or not? You can't just let me go out like this. Taoran threw the black and gold dress that he took off directly. Jenny Nye saw that the cream on the expensive dress was so sticky that it was impossible to wipe it off. She understood Baofu at that moment. If it were her, she wouldn't want others to see her embarrassment. They are all celebrities, how can they be remembered as miserable? Can you change your skirt quickly? Who would lend someone clothes unless they had to borrow? I'm sorry, sister. Today is all my housekeeper's fault. I'll apologize to you. I'll pay for your dress too. I'll find you a new one. Jenny Nye brought a towel to help wipe it, but looking at the lumps of cream on the girl's hair in front of her, Jenny Nye weakly said, "How about, sister, you can take a bath at my place. It's so dirty." Taoran grabbed the towel and pretended to be angry, "Get out." "Yes, I'm waiting for my sister outside and preparing a dress for her." Taoran laughed as soon as the door closed. She was good at acting, and this girl really didn't doubt herself at all. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 632. In fact, Dissy didn't doubt Taoran. She immediately adjusted the surveillance after Baofu went upstairs. It was later discovered that he had not lied. In the surveillance video, it was seen that Baofu didn't pay attention to what was going on at all after being covered in cream. He hurried into the villa while they were still busy collecting photos scattered on the floor. She got angry at the servant, her furious temper almost made him cry, and then she went to the second floor openly. Later, many people poured into the villa to use the bathroom, so she impatiently slammed the door and walked out, went up to the third floor, and went directly into Jenny's room. Her impatient expression and behavior are completely normal. However, Dissy still asked her daughter to inform Baofu and ask her not to publicize today's photos. Taoran was irritated from beginning to end. What photo? I don't know. I didn't even see it. What happened to the photo? Whose photo is it? What does it have to do with me? No, it's better if you don't see it. Jenny Nye apologized, took out a brand new dress of hers, and also called her makeup artist and stylist to help this good sister reapply makeup and style. Taoran swaggered and enjoyed Jenny's flattery. The more she behaves in a bad mood, the less the Nye family dares to offend her. Even Dissy came to apologize in person and said that tomorrow she would have a stylist come to her door with a collection of the latest dresses to make compensation. When the time comes, she can take her pick. Mrs. Nye is too polite. Later, Dissy said that she would not go to Mr. Bob's birthday party in 2 days and asked for your forgiveness. Taoran's expression turned cold for a moment, but his heart was filled with laughter. Of course she had already calculated that Dissy would definitely not be in the mood to go out to socialize after today, so she would invite her, right? It would be best not to go. There is no need for people to arrive, as long as the courtesy is present. Sure enough, facing Taoran's cold face, Dissy expressed her apology again. Your father's birthday is a big celebration. I can't go, but I will let my little daughter congratulate you. That's such a shame. There will be a chance. Yet Taoran faked a smile without any sincerity. Also, let Jo Haeya be worshipped as a princess and enjoy the treatment of an elder from a wealthy family. This Dissy is a real lady, knows etiquette, and her birthday gifts will definitely be in place. Taoran was in no hurry to leave Nye's house. She wanted to wait for news and see how the Nye family responded. But she didn't expect anything. Neither Nye Ronghai nor Nye Hua came back until the banquet was over. Mi Hongyu's people have been secretly watching Nye Ronghai. But the old fox was the old fox, and he never left the office building. He probably guessed that he would be targeted after something happened, and was afraid of being made a fuss about, so instead of acting rashly, he went to and from get off work normally. Even Nai Ronghai's bodyguards didn't leave, so Mi Hongyu's people gained nothing at all. Taoran was quite disappointed. She did this because she hoped that Nai Ronghai would lose his composure and go to Tang Yu to confirm and expose Tang Yu's position. But Zhang is still old and spicy, he is too cautious and calm. Outside the Nai family, there were also people sent by Mi Hongyu to keep an eye on them. During the period that had just passed, no one left either. Dis has calmed down completely and determined that the cake incident had nothing to do with Linda the writer. The scene was cleaned up, the banquet was moved indoors, and all the guests were comforted. Everyone didn't talk about what happened just now and just pretended it didn't happen. On the way back, Taoran checked the Star Network. Although the Nai family sealed the deal, it had little effect. Nai Ronghai had many political enemies, so naturally they would not let go of this sudden opportunity. So after a few hours of hype, the video of what happened in the Nai family has gone viral. All kinds of speculations are flying. Some say it is a love debt, some say it is a blood debt. There are also people who feel that Nai Ronghai is upright and someone is definitely framing him. A reporter blocked Nai Ronghai and interviewed him with copied photos. He was generous, accepted reporters' questions, and spoke eloquently. This is obviously someone who is playing tricks on me. I, Nai Ronghai, have been honest and above board all my life. If I committed murder and arson, who would I be sorry for? So, please bring out evidence to prove me. Please let the victim stand up and testify against me. That's it? A photo? You have no name, no charges, and you want to frame me and slander me? Sorry, I don't want to make any response. Because it's not worthy. Therefore, I warn everyone that if anyone dares to make an issue out of this photo, he or she will be sued. In addition, through this lens, I want to tell the people behind the scenes that no matter you are an individual or an organization, I, Nai Ronghai, only accept fair and above-board competitions. Sneaky and dirty methods are really despicable and make everyone lose value. I hope you will take care of yourself. Nai Ronghai cleverly blamed the incident on his political opponents. As for Jenny Nai's behavior when the photo went viral, Nai Ronghai explained that her daughter has always been hypoglycemic, so she often gets startled, so there is nothing strange about it. Some people believe this response and some don't. There is a lot of quarrel online. Although the Nai family's reputation has been affected a little, the impact is not significant. Seeing that Taoran was in a bad mood, Mi Hongyu took the initiative and said, "In the next few days, will my people continue to help you keep an eye on Nai Ronghai?" No. That old guy is a monkey spirit. This matter has become a big deal. Needless to say, there will definitely be many people staring at Nai Ronghai. The old fox naturally knows. Therefore, he will never give anyone any clues and will only stand still. Not only him, but even Nai Hua and Nai Jenny may not take any action. Of course, the current situation is not completely without benefits. Nai Ronghai will definitely be timid in a short time and will never dare to trouble Tang Yu. So Tang Yu is definitely safe within a certain period of time. Overall, it was confirmed today that Tang Yu was not dead, even if the results were pretty good. Thinking of this, Taoran felt a little happier. Before returning home, she thanked Mi Hongyu and patted Mi Hongyu on the shoulder. "On my old man's birthday, remember to come early and have a few drinks with him." After saying that, she strode into the house without looking back. Mi Hongyu snorted, always feeling that there was a trap somewhere. After Taoran changed out of his dress, he went directly to the basement. She went to find Vincent. "Tell me about Tang Yu." She moved a stool and sat down in front of Vincent. "I want to know, what is Tang Yu like in the military? What is she like at work? Her biggest shining point, her specialty, her hobbies in the military, even, her clothes, hairstyle, put on makeup or not, from hair to shoes, from personality to status, I want to know everything. None of these things exist in Tang Zhu's memory. You can let me go if I tell you, Vincent snorted coldly. Tang Yu is in danger now, I want to save her. Tao Ran took a bottle of nutrient solution and threw it in front of Vincent. If the information you provide can save her, then you will be a favor to her, and you will have a chance to leave here. But on the contrary, you will harm her. I think you don't want to suffer all over again. The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 633. Zhou Heiya's birthday has arrived. He was quite happy. Tao Ran gave him 1,000,000 star coins as pocket money, and also covered all the expenses for the banquet. Not many VIPs came, but they were fine ones. For example, Mi Hongyu. He sent wine worth tens of millions, and this was just his personal feeling. Old man Mi asked his grandson to send him a big red envelope as a gift. When I opened it, it was an equity transfer contract. Old man Mi gave Zhou Heiya shares worth 20 million star coins. In addition, he also asked Mi Hongyu to bring 2 collections. He and old man Wisen each gave one, all of which were good things that even money could not buy. Another example is the Nai family. Tao Ran gave Nai Jenny jewelry worth 100,000 star coins before. But this time, Nai Jenny got the signal from her family that she wanted to make friends with the Bao family, so naturally she would not be shabby. The jewelry she sent was worth at least 200,000 yuan. Dis's wife didn't arrive, but the gift was still there. What she gave him was a painting. Including the dresses that the Nai family had compensated a few days ago, the total amount reached hundreds of thousands of star coins. Since it's for you, just accept it. Tao Ran's words made Zhou Heiya grin so hard that he couldn't close his mouth anymore. Really? Give them all to me? Yes. Can. Don't worry, I'll return the favor. You spend the money. I don't spend it, I save it. Don't worry, I won't spend money randomly in the future. Tao Ran had already discovered that Zhou Heiya had changed recently. That day she came back from outside and saw Zhou Bu at the property. After asking, I found out that he wanted to buy the villa next door. Are you rich? She checked his optical brain and found that he had used none of the money she had given him recently. Not only that, there were tens of millions more star coins in his account. After asking, I found out that he had returned a custom-made aircraft, more than half of the famous wine he bought a while ago, and even the limited edition cigars he finally got. He stopped all the extravagant and lascivious items, and even the nutritional supplements were changed from high level to intermediate level. He said that after the banquet was over, several robots would also be returned. When Tao Ran asked, she found out that his idea was bigger than hers. He wanted to let all the brothers in Starcott be free. And he just wanted to buy the villa next door. He hopes to connect the 2 villas together in the future, just like in Code Star, so that the brothers can live together and be lively and happy every day. He hopes to enjoy both money and freedom with his brothers. How dare you think about it? Tao Ran's head hurt again. I trust you. Tao Ran Mo. Why should you believe her? Since when has this become her business? But, hey. If there was no such thing as an idea, I would naturally feel at ease. But once she gave birth, she also wanted to help the brothers who had struggled together. Muguang Erpai and the others are still mining. Erpai's mother is still in charge of the brothers' food, and she is very busy every day. Tao Ran had a hunch that his time in this world might not be short. However, thinking about the spiritual minds on the planet Kot, and thinking about the group of wood spirits that were still weak because of saving her this time, she really couldn't bear to leave immediately. If she could, she hoped to be in this world. Let the wood spirit grow as big as possible. Taoran promised Jo Haeya that he would try his best. Jo Haeya said that he would be her good helper in the future, so that she would have no worries. He will take good care of himself and the family, let her work hard outside, strive to succeed in the military academy, and assist the head of state as soon as possible. If there is no hope, just get out as soon as possible. Anyway, they have money, so they can find a way to get a starship to smuggle the brothers out of Code. If there is still difficulty, they will throw money at it. Or place an order with the interstellar pirates to get the brothers back. Taoran was speechless for a moment after listening. I bet he has already made a third-hand plan. It works. Jo Haeya also had an idea on her head. That day he accidentally saw her shopping receipt, and after discovering that she bought more than 1 million clothes in one go, he actually educated her. The next day, Taoran gave him all the dresses that Princess Nai had brought back from her family, as well as the dresses that the Nai family had compensated for, and resold them with him. So Jo Haeya was very excited about today's banquet. Taoran Jiang saw him calling the property management company, saying that he would pay for the villa next door tomorrow. After cutting the cake for Jo Haeya, Taoran found an excuse and left. The people she invited today were all nuisances in her eyes. She didn't bother to socialize with anyone. What did she stay for? Is it really possible to bring Princess Nai and Mi Hongyu together? Let them fend for themselves. She found someone to send a message to Mi Hongyu, telling him about the banquet and her father, so she asked him to help take care of it. Then she sent him a light brain message, which was the same as last time, with the same 4 words, help each other. After that, she turned off the optical brain. When Taoran came back 2 hours later, he learned that something had happened at the banquet as soon as Mi Hongyu performed his duties. The guests had already left. Mi Hongyu was still sitting on the sofa with his legs crossed. Jo Haeya told her, "Tonight is so lively and exciting. If you are not here, we will lose money." Taoran checked the surveillance camera. In the middle of the dance, Mi Hongyu went to the guest room on the first floor. Nai Jenny found that Mi Hongyu was missing and quickly found the guest room. Then Jenny Nai went in. 10 minutes later, Mi Hongyu ran out. He was disheveled and his eyes were red. Because he was running so fast, he hit a shelf and broke a bottle. The sound of the bottle breaking attracted everyone's attention. But at that time, Mi Hongyu pointed at Nai Jenny, who had just followed him out of the room with a look of astonishment, and cursed angrily. You, it's useless to think that you are still the daughter of an admiral and the daughter of a wealthy family. I never expected you to be so shameless. Don't you think it's embarrassing? You have ruined the reputation of your parents and embarrassed both of you. The Nai family's face. Mi Hongyu scolded until his neck turned red. Jenny Nai was dumbfounded. What are you talking about? But Mi Hongyu kept scolding, how many times have I told you? I don't like you. Why are you still pestering me like this? Jenny Nai. I'm warning you, starting from today, if you come within 10 meters of me again, I won't be polite to you. I don't care if you are a woman or not, I will not be merciful. Mi Hongyu also turned to other people present, please help me pass on the message. Whoever holds a banquet in the future, it will be me without Jenny Nai. It will be with Jenny Nai without me. No, not even with the Nai family. At the end of the sentence, he almost roared out. Jenny Nai kept shaking her head and arguing. But over and over again, she would only say he lied, we didn't say or do anything, Mi Hongyu, you are crazy, Mi Hongyu, he is talking nonsense. Obviously, the furious Mi Hongyu is more interesting than her. And because Mi Hongyu strongly requested to help him deliver a message, many people who had no intention of filming picked up optical cameras and recorded his angry curses. For a while, no one paid any attention to Jenny Nai. No one knew what happened to Mi Hongyu and Nai Jenny in the room. but that doesn't stop everyone from using their imagination at all. Mi Hongyu didn't give up and pointed at Nai Jenny. If I hadn't agreed to help Baofu watch the banquet, I wouldn't want to stay for a second. Nai Jenny, if I were you, I would never have the shame to stay here. Will you get out? If you don't get out, I'll find someone to throw you out. Thanks to Xiaoao, Longa, Shuchen Sungs and Xin, Wen Haha, Yair Yue and other babies for their rewards. Show your heart. Thank you all for your monthly votes.